Hello and namaste. Good evening, everyone. We are back with the fifth episode of COVID Care webinar brought to you by Empezar Wellness and School of Awakening, where our guest speakers will be focusing on energetic healing techniques to keep ourselves calm in this pandemic situation. Today, we have with us a very special guest who needs no introduction. She has hosted several webinars for us. We all love her and have great respect for her. And it is a complete honor to have her on our show today. We welcome our first guest speaker, Mrs. Desiree Punwani, who is an experienced EFT therapist, light worker, and author of an upcoming book in high spirits from hopeless to shining self. So, welcome, Desiree, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, good evening, all. I'm here today in a capacity of a speaker, and it feels a bit strange hearing that introduction from Amreen. I almost feel like I have stepped into the house and my daughter is reading out a welcome to me because we are all family, and but very kind of her nevertheless. Okay, so what I'm doing today is I'm going to teach you just a few techniques in tapping. Tapping is also known as EFT, more popularly known, of course, as tapping. Since this webinar is to do with more with COVID, I thought I would teach you about to deal with fear and anxiety more than anything else. So let me first just quickly explain to you the principle. I'm not going into the grammar of EFT because in the time frame I have, it's not possible. So another word for pain is contraction, okay? Tightening or contraction. So when we are contracted or when we are tight, we experience pain. The simplest way I can explain this to you is your hand is open, your palm is open, and if it remains open through the day, you have no pain. However, if you close it within a short time, within half an hour, it can start paining quite a lot because it is closed, it is contracted. Similarly, fear is contracting, anger is contracting. All these things cause us pain. So what I am saying here is that if we want relief from pain, we need to use techniques which will release the contraction. So tapping is surely one of them. But with that, you could also do deep breathing, you could do humming, you could use certain yoga techniques. So there are countless. And what I really appreciate about the School of Awakening and Empezar Wellness is that in these series that they are doing, they're actually giving you a toolkit. They're saying, look, these are the various tools. When you're having a problem during this time or at any other time, open this and see what you can use. So today, I'm handing you a few simple tools to use during this time and even otherwise. Okay. So in EFT, in tapping, the main thing is we accept a situation for what it is. This is the first step. So what we say is that even though this thing exists, so even though this pain in my leg is there, and maybe it's a lot of pain in my leg, maybe I have thought crippling anxiety, I can't even think, okay? Whatever, I accept, I understand, I recognize, and I accept this situation. With this, I fully accept, love, and forgive myself. So let's just go with love and accept for now, all right? So with this, I fully love and accept myself. With this, not excluding this. With this pain, along with this pain, along with this anxiety, along with this fear, along with the crazy thoughts I'm having, I fully love and accept myself. Okay, that's the first step. So whether you're going to say that or you don't say that, this is how you're thinking. Okay, I recognize it, I accept it as part of me. Then you start doing the tapping. So the points I want to teach you first, and then depending on how much time we have, I'll try and add a few more things, is to tell you that the most important point in tapping is this collarbone point. Okay, so this is here. This the collarbones, we both have the clavicle. We have two points here. So this is where the knot of the tie comes for men. So these points, okay, so these 2 points, when you slip your fingers slightly down, so you go a little down, I have the mic here, so you go a little down, approximately 1 inch down, your fingers should automatically stop there. There's not really a depression there, but it kind of feels like one, all right? So your fingers stop here. This is your point, okay? This is, in the whole tapping process, this is the most important point. So even if you know just this point, you can do very well for yourself, okay? So this is the clavicle point, the collarbone point, all right? Now this point has to be tapped. So how do you have to tap it? This is very important. So both have to be done together. So either what you do is you take both your hands and you tap like this with it. There'll be questions that are coming up for you. I'll try and answer all of them without your asking. So you tap here like this. So if you do with both hands, that's fine. However, if you want to do with one hand, then you can take your fingers in a U like this, and you can do here like that. What I would not want you to do is to take your hand like this and tap. Because when you take your hand like this and tap, what happens is it will move at an angle. It's very difficult to keep it straight like this, okay? And then if it moves at an angle, it will come in between and neither of the points get tapped, all right? So just to remember, you have to do it with both hands together or with your fingers like this, then that too works, okay? So this is the tapping technique for this point, all right? What you have to do now, you will notice that while I'm even demonstrating, I am taking a deep breath. This is not intentional. It just happens when you're tapping here because it releases. So I told you, that contraction is pain. So now what happens when we tap like this? These are some of our energy points. They are important points in the acupuncture and acupressure technique, okay? They are the meridian points. So when we tap here, automatically there is some little sort of enlargement, okay? The blood vessel opens up. When the blood vessel opens up and the air goes through, we automatically experience relief. And even if we don't realize it, we let out a deep breath, okay? So to bear in mind, however, that while you're tapping, to also consciously breathe out, okay? So as you're tapping, okay. So I would like all of you, so while we are doing this, so I would like you to just tap here to see how you feel about it, okay? And then I'll take you through the steps. So you tap here. How long do we tap here? We tap for 10 to 20 seconds while doing a little bit of deep breathing. And then we remember to have water, to have at least 2 sips of water. Okay. And this kind of tapping can be done every half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever, once a day, twice a day, as much as you want. So first question, when do you do the tapping? Tapping can be done at any time. There are no rules as to before meals, after meals, first thing in the morning, last thing, nothing like that. It can be done in any physical position, as if you're lying down, you're sitting, you're standing, you're walking. Okay, so there are no rules about it. It's the left hand, right hand, it does not matter. Okay, because when we are doing the full tapping, we can do it on the left, right, we can mix it up. It doesn't matter. What matters is that we first sense the degree of our discomfort or pain. Now, since today I'm focusing on fear and anxiety, it's a little difficult to do that. If you have a pain in your leg and I ask you if 0 is no pain and 10 is unbearable pain, so that is the kind of scale you'll take, it would be easier for you to sense the degree of pain in your leg, whether it is at 3 or 6 or 10 or whatever. With feelings, it's a little more difficult to do. So I would like to teach you the simple technique. If anyone in the audience has done Vipassana, they already know it. Is that when you're thinking the thoughts, oh my God, this is really spreading. What will happen? Suppose we get it, whatever. Okay. Uh, while you're thinking the thoughts, someone has not come home as yet, someone has got fever. I hope it's all right. When you're thinking the thoughts, drop immediately into the body. Drop into the body and see where you're feeling the sensation. In the beginning, you might find it a little difficult, but you'll catch on to it quickly. So you'll feel sensation somewhere in your body, which to your mind, the two are not related. It doesn't matter. You just immediately, you have a thought, you have a memory. Drop into the body and see, where am I sensing this? Where is this sitting in my body? Because body is frozen thought. All her thoughts sit in the body. Okay. So where is it? So you may feel, for instance, you may feel a little quickening of the breath. You may feel a slight palpitation in the chest. You may feel a slight tightness. You may feel tightness around the eyes. You may feel a little twinge in your back. You may feel some kind of sensation um, in your leg or in your calf or whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay. So whatever it is that you're feeling, that is your barometer. Okay, that's your gauge. That is going to tell you whether your level of anxiety has come down or not. All right. Once you have sensed it, so let's say you sense it and you feel that, okay, I think my anxiety levels are probably around 5 or 6. Okay. Then in your mind, accepting this and including this in yourself, you just tap here for, like, as I'm saying, 10 seconds or something like that. You just tap, take a deep breath, and then again you have water, keep it on the side, and have a sip of water. Now you recreate the thought. Recreate the thought, drop into your body, and you'll definitely find a difference. So let us say it was at 6, and you find that no, it's only come to 5 or 5.5. Do it again, about thrice, and then let it be. As you do through the day, you will find that although these thoughts may come, but they are not creating a contraction. So see, here's what happens. Let me explain this a little more. So when we get thoughts which are fear-based, thoughts which are anger-based, these contracting thoughts, okay? So what happens is the thought will go through our whole system, right? Most of it will come out. But there's a little residue left. And the best way I can explain this residue is that, when the dirty water goes through the pipes, like say our kitchen pipes or bathroom pipes, okay, most of it goes out, but a little bit remains, very, very, very fine. You can call it a fraction of a hair, that much, okay. But over time that builds up. And this thing that builds up is what blocks arteries. And this is what creates this contraction in us, increases anxiety, increases fear, can end up in paranoia even, right? Okay, so what we are doing now, we have a technique where when we have thought the thought, we are not fighting the thought. What we are doing, we are tapping. This tapping is like if you had the pipe and you had to tap on it. When you tap on it, the dirt or the grime that is accumulated inside starts loosening up. As you tap, if you tap with a spanner or something like that, it'll start loosening up. And then as the blood flows, or like if you take the kitchen pipe example, as the water flows from the tap, this will loosen and it will flow out. Okay, so this is the principle. That's why I said, understand the principle, then use what works for you. Jogging works for you, humming works for you, deep breathing works for you, singing and music works for you, mantras work for you, whatever works for you. Tapping is one of the techniques in your toolbox, which is available to you. So when this happens, you tap, you will be doing two things. One is the anxiety and the fear will not spiral out of control. Okay, that's one thing. It will not spiral out of control. The other thing is that it will not leave a film which will then thicken later and cause you problems. Okay. So for now, try this technique. If it works for you, then perhaps we can later on have more sessions where I can teach it to you in greater detail. But for the present moment, I am giving you a simple technique of tapping on your collarbone point, taking a deep breath, drinking water, so as to prevent the anxiety or the fear from spiraling out of control and to prevent it from leaving a residual effect on your body and mind. I do hope this will be useful to you. I would like to thank School of Awakening, Empazar Wellness, for this opportunity to connect with you once again. And I'd like to hand you over now to Amrit. Over to you, Amrit.
Beautiful shares, Desiree ma'am. Thank you so much for sharing this valuable information on EFT tapping technique with us. Once again, thank you, ma'am, for coming on our show.
Thank you for welcoming me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm very
So,
keen to hear Ishita. Let's go ahead.
yes, ma'am. So now moving on from EFT to ABC. Our next guest speaker is Mrs. Ishita Todi, who is an expert energy healer with a practice of over 15 years at the School of Awakening. And she will be sharing insights on energetic healing techniques to manage our fears, anxiety, and stress. And one of the techniques she uses to help manage stress, and we are curious to learn, is the Access Body Consciousness tool, a technique also known as ABC, which was developed by Sidra Jafri, the founder of School of Awakening. So, welcome, Ishita. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are very happy to have you on our show.
Thank you, Ambreen. Thank you so much for having me here. And I am super excited to talk about access body's consciousness, to share tips on how to manage our emotions.
ग्रेट इशिता जैसे आजकल का कोरोना वायरस का जो माहौल है इसमें हम सभी काफी एंजाइटी स्ट्रेस और डिप्रेशन से हर रोज गुजरते हैं
Mm.
you please tell us what is this access body consciousness technique and how can it help us manage our stress level.
Access body's consciousness, we also call it the short form ABC. ABC stands for Access Body's Consciousness. It is a tool to help us understand what our body is telling us. Really, it's as simple as the ABC we learned in school to learn the English language. This ABC is about the language of our body. It's about looking for whatever is troubling us inside our body, making sure we know exactly what it looks like and what it feels like, removing it, and then filling the now empty space with whatever we want, or with the opposite of what we have just removed. That's it, really.
ये तो काफी सिंपल साउंड कर रहा है एंड क्या ये टेक्निक कोई भी इंसान कभी भी कर सकता है.
बिल्कुल. जैसे कोई भी स्कूल वाली एबीसी सीख सकता है, वैसे ही इसको भी हर एक इंसान सीख सकता है. So let's start with coronavirus or COVID. These words are generating a lot of emotions in all of us, aren't they? So, what happens as soon as we hear either of these words, coronavirus or COVID? We have the energy of fear in our body. And I want to just explain to you how this happens. So, when we hear this word, it triggers that fear. All our fears, old fears which have been inside us, they come to the surface, and then they attract so much more fear from the outside world, because like energy attracts. Energy is just energy. It doesn't differentiate between where, why, how, it just is. And then when there's so much fear in the system, what happens? The energy body shrinks. So if you would look at your screen, it just shows you how, when we hear certain words, when we feel these emotions, our energy body just instantly shrinks. Our energy body responds instantaneously to our thoughts and our emotions. The good news is it blooms as fast as it shrinks. So, what do we do to make it bloom? Yes, even the simple gesture of smiling is enough to start it blooming. Now, you might be wondering how you can make yourself smile or feel happy in the current situation. So, all you have to do is think of things which make you smile. Which was the last comedy you watched? Or when was the last time you met your childhood friend and you were just being silly and you started laughing and then you even forgot why you were laughing because you were just laughing and tears were rolling down your face? Or when you were doing something totally silly and everyone else was laughing at you? See, there are so many funny things, happy things that bring a smile to your face. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as you get started. And as you get started on this smiling trip, you will automatically find it easier to think of more and more things which make you smile and make you feel happy. Some people find happiness in music. And like Desiree ma'am was sharing with us, some people hum, some people, I mean, it doesn't matter. You want to cook, you want to paint, whatever it is. The most important thing to understand here is that whatever you're doing, the most important ingredient is using the correct thoughts and the correct emotions, because these support every action that you are taking towards building your immunity. So, once again, if you look at your screens, if you can understand that when you support your actions with the correct thoughts and the correct emotions, all the parts of you, your body, your thoughts, your emotions are in alignment, and the whole of you is working like a team, supporting each other, multiplying the effects of what you're doing. But if you're feeling fear, anxiety, stress, all of that while doing something, the parts of you are in conflict with each other. They are creating this internal stress inside you, and the total effect of what you're doing may not be that much.
Very interesting information, Ishita. So, can you give our audience a small demo on Access Body Consciousness technique to help them understand this concept better?
Sure. So let me give you a quick demonstration. Let's begin with breathing. Once again, if you look at the screen and align your breathing with what you see on the screen. So you breathe out, exhale, hold, breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold, breathe in, hold. Now just allow this rhythm to get in sync with your breathing and gently close your eyes. And today we are working with fear. So the first step is to recognize where in your body this fear is. Focusing on your breathing helps you to quieten the mind. And as your mind and your body become more and more relaxed, just take your awareness inside your body so that you can identify where in your body this fear is located. Right now, wherever in your body you feel a tightness or a heaviness or a denseness, it's your body taking your attention to that part, telling you, here is the fear, because you are looking for the fear. Wonderful. Now that you've located the fear inside your body, let us explore it a little bit. Let us accept different aspects of what this fear looks like. So let's begin with color. With your eyes closed, in your mind's eye right now, what color do you see? Great. Now that you know what your fear looks like right now, let's look at how it feels. Does it feel warm or does it feel cool? Right. Now I want you to explore it further and feel the texture of this fear energy inside your body. Does it feel smooth or rough or solid or more liquidy? What does it feel like? Great. Now that we know the color of this fear energy, we know the texture and the temperature, I want you to take your attention to the shape. What shape does it look like right now? Wonderful. And now I want you to quantify it. I want you to give it a number. So on a scale of 0 to 10, this image that you see, how strong does it feel? 0 meaning it's very faint, hardly there, and 10 meaning it's absolutely crystal clear. You know exactly what it looks and feels like. You can feel it as if it's a physical object inside your body. Great. Now that we have gone through all the aspects of this energy of fear inside your body right now, it's time now to release it. So all I want you to do is prepare yourself, take your next deep breath in, and as you breathe out, just imagine, sense, or feel it leaving your body, spiraling out, spiraling out, spiraling out. Another breath in, and as you breathe out, this fear, which is almost like a physical object, is just dropping out of your body and it's outside your body in front of you. Keeping your eyes closed and keeping your attention on this fear energy outside your body, I want you to now just allow it to speak to you. Listen to what it's saying. Beautiful. And now I want you to speak to it. So as I say the words, just repeat after me. And we start with, I love you. You have been a part of me, right? So I love you. And I'm so sorry that I kept you trapped inside my body for so long. I'm really, really sorry. I forgive you for making me feel not great. I forgive you for making me feel a lack of control, for feeling anxiety. And I ask you to please forgive me for keeping you trapped inside, for not listening to you, for not paying attention to you, for denying your very existence. Please forgive me. We are both free now. Take another deep breath in. And now take your attention back to your body, to that part of your body which now feels empty because the fear is gone. And you can now choose to fill that empty space with whatever you feel like. So, as we have removed fear, we could replace it with faith, we could replace it with courage, we could replace it with happiness, whatever you feel like. And as you allow your mind to focus on this new energy that you want, just take another deep breath in. And I want you to now identify what color this new energy looks like to you. Great. And now just imagine, sense, or feel that your body is wrapped in the most comforting blanket of this color, of your chosen energy. And now, as you take your next breath in, just allow this energy to enter your body through your breath, through the pores of your skin, rushing in to fill all empty spaces inside. Another deep breath in. Wonderful. Now, lovingly and gently, just tap the body part that you have been working with. And slowly and gradually, open your eyes with a big, big smile. And I'm sure that you're feeling much better than you did before we started this ABC process. So I want to just quickly recap what we did here, how the access body consciousness works. The first step we did was identify. We went with fear and we identified where in our body its presence is. The second thing we did is accept all the aspects of it. We went into color, shape, texture, temperature, intensity, every aspect of it that we identified and made ourselves aware, made us accept the presence of this fear energy inside our body. The third step we did is release. We just allowed it to go out of our body. And as it left, we communicated with it. We first listened to what it had to say, and then we said, I love you, I'm sorry, I forgive you, please forgive me. We are now both free. Then the fourth step we did was replace, which is deciding what energy we wanted and then imagining ourselves wearing a blanket of that energy, breathing it in and allowing it to enter our body. And finally, the last step is celebrate. So, all of you, congratulations for having successfully done this process, for having successfully released and let go of this fear energy which was not making you feel great at all. And congratulations for filling yourself up with hope, faith, happiness, courage, confidence, whatever you chose. And after this webinar is over, don't forget to give yourselves a little treat to celebrate this. Give yourself a hug, smile at yourself in the mirror, have a cup of tea or a coffee, whatever it is you want to treat yourself with, make sure you do it. And this is how we do ABC.
Beautiful, Ishita. Congratulations, everyone. Hold on to that smile. This is so simple, and I'm sure we all can use Access Body Consciousness technique and apply in our daily lifestyle to reduce stress. Thank you once again, Ishita. It was really wonderful to have you on our show today and share these de-stress technique with us.
Thank you for having me over. My pleasure.
Thank you. So, both our guest speakers today, Ishita and Desiree ma'am, have shared these two powerful techniques, ABC, Access Body Consciousness, and EFT technique that will definitely help us to manage our emotions better and help us stay calm during any stressful or challenging moments. I would also like to thank each and every one of you for joining us today and would love to invite you for our next COVID Care webinar episode on coming Tuesday, 20th April at 6:15 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So don't forget to log in. Do remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Empizar Wellness and follow all our social media links being displayed on the screen right now. Have a great rest of the day. Take care, everyone. Keep smiling.